Hi, so I've had a bit of a shit day today, not gonna lie. Not for any real particular reason, just various sources reminding me that the world is a bit shit. So I distracted myself by revising, which I know sounds a bit weird, and I just got really excited about Old English. So I'm just gonna spend like a minute or two telling you about why Old English is really awesome. First of all, let's establish what Old English is. It's most definitely not Shakespeare. That's contemporary English, and it's also not Chaucer. He is Middle English. Old English is from about 5th century to 1066 when the Normans came along and said, you will have to speak French now. And so it's really quite old. And you know why old things are cool? Because they're like a little time capsule, and you get to discover all of about their lives. And it's amazing because obviously it's very different and their culture is very different, but you also learn that so much is very similar. I'm studying a poem called The Wanderer, and kind of simplifying it, but it's essentially about a man with depression, arguably post-traumatic stress disorder. And he's talking about why he can't tell his friends about his problems because then they will think he is weak. Doesn't that sound familiar? Like, it's just nothing's changed, which is a bit depressing, I suppose, but like, I don't know, it just shows like this consistency within humanity, and I just find that really cool. But the other reason I love Old English is the language. It's amazing. They have these little things called kennings, which are like one word riddles. So they use these, they tend to be compound words. So that means that they put two words together to mean one thing. An example of this would be Goldwiener, which means, literally translated, gold friend. Which obviously doesn't make a lot of sense. And then gold friend, what does a gold friend mean? It means king, because the king is your friend who gives you gold. Because apparently once upon a time there were political powers that gave you gold instead of tax paper releases. But yeah, just all these little words that are like mini riddles. But honestly, if Old English, rude car, if Old English is cool like that, Old Icelandic, which is fairly similar, just shoots it out of the water. Old Icelandic is really, really cool. I'm going to actually see if I can... Oh, it's right here. It's right at the top. Organised. So, this has actually got some more examples of Old English kennings. So, for example, there's word hoard. So that means word hoard. And that's book. Isn't that cute? It's just really cute. And then, what's a heaven candle? I mean heaven candle. What would that... Oh, it's the sun! It's the sun! See, that's just cool. Like, rather than saying the sun, you say heaven candle. I don't know, I just really like it. Anyway, so Old Icelandic kennings are just ridiculous. So you've got this one here. I'm going to try and read Old Icelandic. It's going to come out probably really badly. Nástablak slé mana gifu difu gim slöngvir, which translates as fire brandisher of storm, of giantess, of protection moon, of horse, of boat sheds. Which doesn't make any sense, but it means warrior. And it's a bit complicated why, and I can't quite remember why, but it's essentially like fire brandisher, because they're like brandishing a flaming sword. And then it's like of boat sheds, so they're a guard, they're guarding the boat sheds. And then of horse, of boat sheds, so they're on horseback. And then the giantess of protection moon is something about like the goddess or something. So it's the warrior of their side. And then, yeah, it's just like this whole riddle to mean one thing, and it just makes the poetry like so much more interesting than modern English poetry. So that's really cool. And also, Old English is really, really beautiful. I'm going to actually read you a small section because I think it sounds amazing. My accent is really, really bad, but for Old English, but it is very beautiful anyway. And it's not beautiful like Italian, which is all very sort of Nina, Kina, Mina, like it's all vowels and stuff. It's very high. Old English is like kind of homely. So I'm just going to read you a little bit. I'll read the very last sentence of The Wanderer because I just really like it. Well beat them the him ara siketh, frofret og feder og hefernam, dara es seo fastnum stondeth. It's just like really schmooshy and delicious. It's kind of chewy. I sound fucking nuts, I realise that, but I just love the sound of it. And obviously you might notice that doesn't make any sense. You're like, that's English? Arguably it's not. Only about 10% of our words come from Old English. But it tends to be the words that we use the most. So it's pronouns like he, his, her, and it. And then all the prepositions like on and after and before and just stuff like that, never. And then like homely words like mother, father, home actually comes from Old English. So that's just really cool. And I love Old English, and my arm's getting tired because I'm like holding my phone. So I'm going to be studying Old English next year, but at the moment I'm having a lot of fun revising it. And yeah, I just thought I'd talk about that. And I'm not going to bother to edit this, I'm just going to upload it straight to YouTube, so enjoy my nerding out. Happy Vida, see you tomorrow.